Today I'm going to show you how to start our kumihimo braid. What you will need is a pencil, your completed disc, meaning that you have the hole punched in the middle and each mark is cut, and that you have your yarn ready to go with the knot at the top. So what we're going to need to do to start out is using the pencil. We actually need to make this hole in the center bigger, and so I'm just going to use my pencil, kind of have it go through so that I have a big enough hole to get our yarn through. Now we're going to want the knot to actually be on the back side, not the front, and so you are going to put all of the thread, or excuse me, your yarn through that hole. So use the ends to go through first. So what's going to be easiest is I'm going to kind of twist these together, bend them over, and then work that clump of yarn through that hole. So this can be a little bit challenging. You can always make that hole bigger. So again, I have the loose ends coming through that hole, and then the knot is on the back side. So to get started, we're going to be placing the yarn. So take one of two strands of one color. So I'm going to start with the red, and I'm going to place one of them in the one slot, the next one in the two. Okay, then I'm going to take two strands of the other color, so the blue. I'm going to skip two spaces, put one in the 5, one in the 6. Alright, I'm going to skip two spaces, go back to my red. Keep getting tangled here. Then I'm going to put one in the 9 and one in the 10. Skip two spaces, back to my blue thread. One in the 13, one in the 14, and you'll notice then you have those two extra spaces. So you'll have one color in 1, 2, 9, and 10, and then your second color in 5, 6, 13, and 14. It needs to be set up like this to get started. Alright, so the pattern I'm going to show you is what you'll do for the entire braiding process. And what you do is you start with the bottom left, bring it up to the top, and then you go top right, bottom right. So I'm going to take the bottom left, which is currently in slot 10. I'm going to bring this up to the top left, which is slot 16. So now you have what's called a chicken foot. Then I'm going to have take the top right, which is in slot 2, down to the bottom right to slot 8. Okay. Once you've done that, you now have that arrow there. You're going to rotate this, and you're going to do that same thing now with the other color. And actually, I notice these blue are crossed. I'm going to actually uncross them before I start this. Okay, so now I'm going to start again. Bottom left, so that's slot 6, up to top left, which is 12, top right, down to bottom right, so that's 14 to 4. Again, I'm going to turn it the direction of my arrow. I'm going to do the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to take top left, excuse me, I already did that wrong. Bottom left to top left, top right to bottom right. Rotate it again. Bottom left to top left, top right to bottom right. Rotate it again. So you continue the same pattern. Bottom left to top left, top right to bottom right. Now, eventually their braid is going to start coming out the back side, which will start to look like this as you continue to go. Okay. Now let's say you maybe set this down, okay, and you come back to it and you have no idea which color you ended off with. What you want to look for is kind of when you turn it on its side of what it looks like the color that's on top. Okay, and right now when I turn it on its side, it looks like that I have the red on top. Okay, so whatever color you have on top, you're going to have that color going horizontally. So right now my blue is going vertical, and then my red's going horizontal. So I'm going to have the color on top be horizontal. So that tells me that I need to start with the vertical one, which is blue. So then I will start bottom, left, top right to bottom right. And now you'll see it is switched. Now the blue is on top, and that's why we rotate it to be horizontal. So the color that you just did the stitch with is horizontal. So that's how you can tell which one is on top, make that horizontal, and you know you start with that opposite color. So you're going to continue to work on this, doing that pattern and rotating it, trying to get as far as you can today, doing bottom left, top right to bottom left.